I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's subject for morning Satsang is straight way out of ignorance. Straight way to be out of ignorance. In the Sutra, Patanjali gives one of the powerful method, a technique to be out of ignorance, to establish yourself in yama and niyama, to raise yourself to the highest coherence. You will be surprised. Today's sutra is the longest sutra in the whole Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Patanjali never utters more than 5 or 6 words in one sutra, maximum 5 or 6. Sometimes just 2 words, one sutra. Even there is one sutra, only 1 word. Here, he gives a full, long 2 line. You can say almost with "21 words." Then understand the importance Patanjali is trying to give for this technique. I'll read the sutra and try to express the truth expressed in this sutra, embedded in this sutra. This is the 85th sutra of Patanjali in chapter 2, 34th verse. Vitarkah Himsadayah Krta Karita Anumoditah Lobha Krodha Moha Purvakah Mrdu Madhya Adhimatrah Dukha Ajnana Anantaphalah Pratipaksa bhavanam. Yesterday Patanjali gave us a technique how to create the contrary thoughts and establish yourself in the right yama and niyama, in the highest coherence. Now he is expanding on that same, giving an example, because he doesn't want people to misunderstand. Understand? This sutra can be very easily misunderstood. So he is giving us an example so that we don't misunderstand. We don't miss it, because just missing this one sutra, you may miss the whole spiritual practice. You need to have confidence over your understanding. Vivekananda translates this sutra as, the obstructions to yoga are killing, falsehood, and so forth, whether committed, caused, or approved, either to avarice, or anger, or ignorance, whether slight, middling, or great, they result in infinite ignorance and misery. This is the method of thinking the contrary. He is giving us the technique. Swami Prabhavananda translates as, the obstacles to yoga, such as acts of violence, and untruth may be directly created or indirectly caused or approved. They may be motivated by greed, anger, or self-interest. They may be small or moderate or great, but they never cease to result in pain and ignorance. One should overcome distracting thoughts by remembering this. Swami Satchidananda translates as, when negative thoughts or acts such as violence are caused to be done or even approved of, whether incited by greed, anger or infatuation, whether indulged in with mild, medium or extreme intensity, they are based on ignorance and bring certain pain. Reflecting thus is also Pratipaksa bhavanam. Each translation, if you see, they are actually completely from different angle. This is the greatness of Vedic tradition. We give freedom to interpret as per the understanding of an acharya. One funny thing, if you see, Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra in certain way. Swami Prabhavananda, who is disciple of Vivekananda, who belongs to Vivekananda Sampradaya, he translates this completely different way and has courage and guts to publish it, and people respect it. That is the amount of freedom we have. Understand? You can refute, alter, amend your guru's words. Vivekananda translates this as one way. Swami Prabhavananda belongs to the Ramakrishna order. Maybe after, I don't know, maybe 50 years of Vivekananda, he comes up with a new translation, sometime little slightly altered or even contrary. The greatness is, his translation is also accepted. In the same order publication publishes both books. That's the greatness of our tradition. Freedom of thinking, freedom of understanding, and freedom to raise the understanding to the next level. I'll try to express as I experienced this sutra. Vitarkah, Himsadayah, Krta, Karita, Anumoditah, Lobha, Krodha, Moha, Purvakah, Mrdu, Madhya, Adhimatrah, Dukha, Anantaphalah iti Pratipaksa bhavanam. I'll tell you exactly how Raghupati Yogi, now I can remember the whole slide as it is. How Raghupati Yogi taught me this sutra. In Arunachaléshwara temple, place called Krtigai Mandapam, that was the stone Mantapa, where he used to teach me the yoga and yoga sutra. He was sitting on a wooden plank. I was sitting on some 4 or 5 pillows because he was trying to make me levitate. That's the way he will do. He will put some 4 or 5 pillows on bed and I have to sit on that. And I will have to continuously do the pranayam. Once I intensely do the pranayam and stabilize, do the kumbhaka, he will remove the pillows one by one. Then I have to be in the air. That is the way he will teach the levitation. If I am getting down, when he removes the pillow, then he will stop and ask me to do more pranayama and kumbhaka. And then after he removes all the pillows, if I am stable in the air, then he will get his pet dog to sit under me. That fellow will be sitting under me, so I will have to be holding on to that air. I cannot release. I will have to completely lock the kumbhaka. Because if I release, I will fall on the ground and I will fall on that fellow and that fellow will bite me. So I will have to be just holding on. Or even if I land, I have to land in a very slow way. Very slowly, in a very subtle way, I have to release the air. Not even through the nose. I have to release the air through the kurma nadi. Means such sensitive prana. Through the middle fingers, I have to release the air. Only then you can land very smoothly. If you release the air through the nostril itself, you will just fall. Because nostril is a too big hole. So that has to be locked. The releasing has to happen through the kurma nadi. Means subtle prana. Actually, when it is released, it is not called prana. It is called apana. The air which leaves your system, other than the nostril holes, is called apana. Through any part, if it leaves your system, it is apana. So, slowly I have to release and then land on the... I have to balance and land on the dog so that he doesn't bite me. So I was sitting on 4 or 5 pillows and he had an old book in which the Sanskrit Sutra will be there and Tamil translation will be there. He read out the Sutra. I was sitting and asked, what does it mean? And let me exactly tell you in Tamil, then I will translate. Because it's a... அது ஒண்ணுமில்லடா. Exactly, I will repeat the word. ஒரு எண்ணம் வரும் பொழுது செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு தோன்றதுக்கு பதிலா இது மாத்தா வச்சா, இது மாத்துனா நமக்குள்ள என்ன நடக்கும்னு பார்த்து அந்த மாத்து எண்ணத்தை விதைக்கிறதான் பிரதிபக்ஷ பாவனம். I'll translate. When a thought comes in you, without allowing the feeling that it should be executed, if you alter and put an alternative thought, establish that in you, is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. A very simple way he finished it. I'll explain. Step by step. This is a one technique, one process which you can practice whole day. This process only can change your muscle memory. Understand? If you unclutch, practice unclutching, your mind will be transformed. If you practice yoga, your body will be transformed. So each technique transforms some part of you. This is the only technique which can transform your muscle memory. Muscle memory means the part which makes the decision spontaneously to do any act and completes it before even you become aware of it. Your muscle memory is responsible for making decision, and without even micro millisecond completing the act spontaneously before even you are aware of it. Please understand. As I was telling the other day, you do not act the way you act because you are habituated. No. You are trained. No. You have engraved memories. No. There is no specific reason why you act the way you act. There is only one thing we know. The moment the decision comes, such a spontaneous energy is released in you, Without even micro millisecond, the decision is executed. It becomes action, reality. See the funny thing. It's very funny and very difficult to understand. Grasping is such a difficult thing. So unless you understand the source of this, it's practically impossible for you to alter. Muscle memory is responsible for making the decision and executing it within micro millisecond before even you become aware. Such dangerous thing, you see. So the muscle memory need to be attended. This is the only technique which can attend the muscle memory. I need to expand on this technique more and more in a detailed way. Today I'll give you the simple meaning. Then I'll explain to you how to apply this sutra in every situation. See, Patanjali says, for example, violence is anti-yoga, against yoga. When you have the thought of violence, how to bring the Pratipaksa bhavana, get yourself back to non-violence and not to allow the violence to get rooted in you. Remembering, no, violence will bring suffering and it will bring ignorance. I should not allow it. So he is teaching us reasoning. He is teaching us the applied science. A master of Patanjali's level coming down and teaching us the applied way. It means almost that this one process is so powerful, it can transform your being. If you transform your intellect, even emotion, not muscle memory, you are in suffering. I tell you. Because muscle memory is responsible for your actions. I have seen. I have had many disciples whose intellect and emotion was transformed. But unfortunately, they never transformed their muscle memory. That's why they missed me. Muscle memory transformation means every thought comes out only with a clear sensor system. Every idea, by the time it becomes alive, the awareness and consciousness has casted their energy, their shining, their knowledge on that thought. Even if few thoughts allowed without awareness can cause so much misery and suffering, can cause so much I have seen people suffering because they allowed just simple one or two thoughts without this filtering system. So today grasp this basic meaning. whenever the negative thoughts which are against the yoga, the purpose of your life happens in you, analyze, understand, take that thought to its logical conclusion and create the opposite understanding, means the right understanding for the purpose of your life, and raise the coherence of your system to its highest possible peak. That is the right way of living, yama and niyama. Having confidence over your understanding and executing that understanding very strongly. The word confidence means courage to live and execute the truths you intellectually grasp. I have a story for you guys. One boy goes to his father and asks, "Dad, what's the difference between confident and confidential?" Dad says, "You are my son. Of that I am confident. Your friend Timmy is also my son. That is confidential." Sometime you need to time the stories properly, time the jokes properly. So understanding about confidence, the courage to live the truth and execute it in your body language. Patanjali puts a very beautiful example in right place, because we all suffer with this one suffering, unable to get back to the highest ideal in practical life. So no shortcut. This is the only way. Again and again and again, creating the Pratipaksa bhavana means creating contrary thoughts to negativity and bringing yourself back to your center. It's such a difficult job. People feel lazy. That is why sometimes I need to push them to do that job. Sometimes I use love, or sometimes I use the fake or so-called hatred to push them to get back to their center. Because inability to create Pratipaksa bhavana means inability to create the contrary thoughts to negativity and destroy negativity will allow negativity to grow in you. Once the negativity grasps you over, your life is in hell. You are done. You are done. Even if it is fake, the restful awareness and peace and joy which you get through the fake ideas, please understand, those experiences will become solid and the fake ideas will lose its power over you. But even if it is so-called logically strong idea, if you are restless, suffering, tortured inside, those torture, restlessness and suffering will stay inside, and these strong logical thoughts will become more and more powerful over you. So understand, the goal and the scale should be the restful awareness. So Patanjali puts the right truth in the right sutra, in right place. Just now he taught us on yama and niyama, highest coherence of life, and told us how to be established in that, and giving us now technique, the applied technique. When you have violence, what to do. Is giving us an example. First time in Patanjali Sutra I am seeing an example. He doesn't wait to give example, and he just gives the sutra and goes. He knows, because his disciples were such high intelligent people. If he is giving example, means something very important. Timing is very important, and making disciples understand, very important. Please understand, it's a very important process for all spiritual seekers in the life. Creating contrary thoughts to negative thoughts. Because whenever negativity rises in you, don't give up. Don't flow with it. Don't go with it. Again and again and again stand up till your muscle memories feel confidence. I can say that this is the one process which has raised my whole awareness in the young age. I used to have a notebook. Whatever spiritual things I read or hear, all the essence I'll write down. And whenever I have any confusion or necessity to understand, I'll read that. I'll carry the book always with me. That is like my extension of heart and brain. Extended heart and brain. I used to call that as my book. Now I am trying to remember the contents of my book to publish, because there are so many things I have noted down in that book which I heard from Arunagiri Yogeshwara directly. Almost it's like I'll remind me. All my Pratipaksa bhavanas are written in that. So practically any negative thought which can come to a human being, I have solution in that book. And I'll always refer to it. It's almost like my guide. I'll continuously cherish, and get those ideas back to the inner space and establish myself again into yoga. Understand, even if you miss once the timing of creating the right thought against the wrong thought, you are caught. Timing is very important. I have a story for you about timing. Little dirty, it's okay. Sometime, for the sake of understanding, it can be accepted. A man was in the restaurant and he suddenly realized he has a gas problem in the stomach. He needed to release the gas. The music was really loud, so he thought nobody will notice. He timed his gas with a beat of music. After a couple of songs, he started to feel better and relieved. He finished his coffee and noticed that suddenly everybody is staring at him. Then suddenly he remembered and realized that he was listening to his iPod. Time it properly with understanding. Don't time it based on your iPod. No, timing is really important. Ramana Maharshi says very beautifully, Aimbula kalvar agattinil pugumbodu agattini ilayo arunachala. O Lord, when my 5 senses entered my house to rob me and to rape me, where were you? Were you not in my inner space? So when the negativity enters to rob you and rape you, immediately bring the security, the right understanding, right attitude against the negativity. Timing is very important. Timing, immediately responding to your negativity. Catch the thief in right moment. Catch the negativity the moment he enters your house. Don't wait. You can talk to him in the police station. No. That won't work. It's like putting the camera everywhere. What is the use? Thief has disappeared. What will you do? I tell them, put better locks than the bigger cameras. Bigger cameras are useful if you have the people who are sensitive and afraid. And if not, better to have locks. Thief is not going to be bothered. The camera is there. He comes and robs and goes away. So understand, the moment negativity enters you, put the brake, stop it. Have the inner awakening and immediately create the right understanding so that you can be out of that negativity. I'll expand on the sutra every day till it is completely understood for different situations. Because this is the one sutra I practiced more number of times in my life, more than unclutching. Because unclutching just in 2 times, 2 moment I realized it, over. Once I tried, second time I experienced, that's all. There was no third try. But this only made my whole bio-memory pure and radiating. I bless you all to achieve, experience, live, express and radiate the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.